Hello everyone, it's Infinity Gamer here, and in this video I'm going to give you a few reasons as to why you should fear the Marut. If you haven't come across it before, it is an Aleph tag. It's also available in the OSS sectorial and vanilla within Aleph itself. It's got this great new sculpt that replaces the old one. This is actually in Cyocast, which is the new plastic resin that Corvus Belli are making a lot of their Infinity and also their Warcrow models when they come in. And having taken this out of the box and had a look at it, wow, the detail is insane. I'm really looking forward to putting this together. I've had a quick look at it and it's looking brilliant. It's so the new sculpt. Now, none of these are reasons why you should fear the Marut. So why should you? The first reason to fear the Marut is that in possibly its most popular profile, which is the 99-point lieutenant option, it's going to get 3 orders if anyone takes that, which they will because of a couple of other reasons that I'm about to go through. Those 3 orders that it gets are the regular token that it generates, the lieutenant order that it would generate for being the lieutenant, and then also the tactical awareness order. Those are 3 orders that just this unit brings to an army. 99 points does sound expensive, but when you look at some of the other reasons that I've got, it might become clear as to why it's still deadly and it's expensive. So if you take the Lieutenant version, you will also get the advantage of having Strategos level 2. What that means is that you get to hold back 2 units in reserve during the deployment phase, which is the same as level 1. But with level 2, you also get the ability to move units from one command pool or one command group to another without spending a command token, which is excellent because if you're anything like me, some of your pools end up getting a little bit depleted by units, but one might still have a disproportionate amount of orders, but you might have something in the other pool that could use those orders. So here with Strategos level 2, you get the ability to move those across into a different combat group without having to pay the command token fine. That is it. You get to swap units between command tokens. It's expensive. It should also be feared because it's got a weapon for almost every range band. It's got the multi-HMG to be able to get, I think it's up to 32 inches, very nicely. I think that goes from 16 to 32. It's then got the heavy flamethrower, which has a really healthy range band as well. Then also has the nanopulsar. So there's a bit of variety there. Nanopulsars are good against things with high armor but low BTS. Heavy flamethrowers against pretty much everything that doesn't dodge well, and it's multi-wound because you might actually do continuous damage to it, which can chip a few wounds off. There have been 1 or 2 occasions where I've taken out a 2-wound unit through 1 heavy flamer hit just because they haven't been able to make their armor saves. Rare, because multi-wound units usually have good armor, but it does happen, and that's why the Marut is excellent. If you get too close, it's also got a half-decent CC option. It's got CC 18, which is pretty good, but has an AP CC weapon too. So again, put this up against something with good armor, a couple of wounds, and you've got a few options here. What's also crazy about the Marut is that it's actually AVA 2. Now, I know what you're thinking, you know, if the Lieutenant version is 99 points and the non-Lieutenant version is something like 95, who's going to take that? Well, you forget with Aleph that they've got some really cheap methods for bringing in orders. Something like net rods, for example, you know, you can bring then 4 points each, a net rod, and they provide a regular order to the pool. So for what, I think I did the maths, it was like 194 points and then plus a little bit for the net rods, and you've pretty much got, you know, 6 orders or something like that that you could be using to fuel those 2 Maruts, which is great. And then when you add the next thing I'm going to talk about, which is its smoke shenanigans, that's where things like the Marut get really deadly. The thing to worry about is smoke with the Marut. It has MSV2, that is right, a tag that has MSV2, multi-HMG, whole bunch of cool stuff. Aleph has access to a couple of units that do have smoke grenades and things like that. One of the ones that I like to look at in this sort of list, where you may be taking something expensive like a Marut and that's costing you almost 100 points, is the Myrmidons. They're 16 points each, and you can take quite a few of those if you wanted to, and they can throw smoke, which then enables you to have smoke screens. You know, you can keep your Marut in smoke, moving around, unable to draw line of fire from anything that doesn't have MSV, but yet it's using its MSV2 to pick things off and create some like quite horrible interactions where it definitely has the upper hand, again, especially with that multi-HMG. So an MSV2 Marut tag, with something like a Myrmidon or two is not going to be fun for a lot of people to face in your active turn. Another thing to think about is that the Marut has terrain total, which in Season 13 means that if you're playing in a mission that has Antarctic terrain, units with terrain total get a +1 inch move to their first movement skill. And bearing in mind the Marut is sitting there at 6 inches already, that takes it up to a whopping 7-inch move with its first movement skill, which is going to make it very easy for you to create those imbalances in a way, because someone's might counter deploy your Marut and put a lot of its big units or the units it wants to protect at the other end of the table, and then a couple of moves and you're in their face, especially if there's Antarctic territory. So that is another thing to look out for with the Marut. So there you have it. Those are all of my reasons as to why I think you should fear the Marut. It might get more popular if you play against people in your local meta that have Aleph, because of this fantastic new sculpt that Corvus Belli have just released. It looks stunning. I do love this. It's got like a Gundam, I hope I'm saying that right, style, I think, to it. It looks so cool. And then with the Psyocast, I just feel like a lot of those details actually come through a bit more on this. Again, I've taken this out, I've looked at the sculpt. I'm not anti-metal for minis, but I do think that there are certain designs where this Psyocast can go slightly further than the metal is able to go. And this is one of those. Like, a lot of these details are very nice and pinpoint, and I just don't know that metal would have gotten there. The sculpting on the legs is lovely. I do like this. I'm going to really enjoy assembling this and painting it. I do have a couple of Aleph models sitting in the cabinet, mostly thanks to O12 being able to take a couple of those, Andromeda, Hector, to name a couple, and this is now going on the list. And with the new 2-player starter set coming, Aleph is going to get quite popular. So you might face this bad boy, and this video has just explained several reasons as to why you should fear it if you do see it on the table. If you fancy bringing this beast, then you can get it. It's part of June's releases from Corvus Belli. Definitely a good thing to get. Jump in the comments whether you agree as to whether the Marut is a tag to be feared, a unit to be feared within Infinity. What have you gone up against it? How did you counter it? Do you use it? How do you like to use it aggressively? What are your secrets? What are you afraid of seeing opposite a Marut on the table because you know it might be able to deal with it? Jump in the comments and let me know. I'm always keen to hear your thoughts, but I will be back soon with another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.